Everyone, and welcome to the first video of the animals graphic series. For this first video, I took a request from a person who sent me an email. If you want to send me an email, my email address can be found. I believe it's in the main channel. If you go to channels, or if you click on the name of my channel, and if you click on about, uh, YouTube will make you solve a CAPTCHA before they give you my email address. Uh, so so his first email request is by it came from Sander, and he asked me to do a graph for goat, and the most feasible reference can be found the found on this YouTube video that he sent me. And I can't quite reference it like right off the bat, so I had to screenshot it, and now I feel obligated to give this video maker credit. So that's this video. Um, and if you didn't know, you can pull reference images from your own computer and put them right where you want it. So this one looks off-centered, so I'm gonna recenter it. And you can do that. You can manipulate this one. This one looks the Y coordinate looks centered, but this one does not look is not positioned where I want it to be. So I want to move it over. That's good enough. I'll work with that. All right. So the first thing that I see is like there are like lots of familiar shapes. Like there are lots of circles on here, and this one can easily lend itself as a half an ellipse. And this one and it's the shape of the nostrils. They look like the rotating ellipse that I used when I was drawing the I believe those were like the cheeks for the clown. So yeah, it's the x squared plus xy plus y squared equals 1. It was equation in that form. Um, so right, so I'll start with the easier ones. So first we're going to start out as if we're doing a character model. We do x minus, take a hunch of where it might be. Type in minus, so it's going to be the one on the right hand side, plus y minus 1 minus the 1. This isn't quite center where I want it to be, so I'm going to make a bit of adjustments. Let's raise the circle. And let's see, can I go make much of a difference? So I'm just going to leave it here. This doesn't have to be perfectly aligned. For me, I can work with this pretty easily. If we're not like trying to match the exact shape of this entire image, we're just using it as a reference. And then we can just change this. And now we can barely see the lines now that we're using the same aim. Now we're using pretty much the same line color. So what we can do is we can change the opacity of our background image, make it paler. See, now we can see the lines better. pupils, we're gonna want to fill in the end. Normally, with smaller eyes, so we can just use a point. But this one, we're going to have to do something a little different. Start with one, but one is obviously not at the radius that we want to use, so we're going to want to get this radius to where we want it. As for the height, not entirely at one. Okay, can work with that. You notice that purposely centered try to get this graph symmetrical along the middle. So that if we want to make a change, if we make a duplicate, we can easily mirror it to the other side by changing the plus to a minus, and vice versa. Okay, so we want the eye pupils to be filled in. So if you want to fill something in, uh, but if you want to be filled in on Desmos, so you can just use this inequality sign. And if for whatever reason you want to shade everything outside the circle, you just use the greater than or equal to. And the only thing that will not be shaded would be the circle itself. All right, and we can have a look at what we have so far. So far, it's looking good. See, the other equation that we'll need coloring for would be these nostrils right here. I can use this equation x. I said it was x squared I want to change this to plus. Change this to minus an arbitrary value so that we can worry about that later. I'm actually to use h, so let's call this one. Let's call it h. It's more conventional to use the h for horizontal shift and k for vertical shift. I don't know why k for vertical shift, but that's the convention. Minus h y minus k plus y minus k squared is equal to 1. Let's add for this one. And I want to test a few things out, such as what happens when we make this negative. Okay, this is rotated in the direction that we want it to. And now we need to move downwards to where we want it to. This one I believe has to be squared. 1 squared. Now I can scale it. The size is almost matching up. As for this over, right now we have a slight bit of a problem here. So what's happening is that now we have to rotate this a little bit more. All right, so so I'm going to play around with the values. So we can shift k down a little bit more. Okay, so k is rounding off to 0.7, and I want to see what happens if we Okay, that just rotates that. Um, give me like minus 0. Minus like a half. Not a half. I'm going to move this over. Okay, so H actually seems to take the value of 0.35, so I'll make that 375 to make like a multiple of 8. And just make K. What if I just change K? That's not helping. Okay, right, so we'll leave K at 0.7, so that's going to be plus 0.7, and it's going to be plus 0.7 to 1/5 squared. So we didn't actually rotate this, but we still got the general shape that we want. And then we just do the same thing to the other side, but and instead of minus 0.375, now we'll have a plus, and instead of a minus here, we'll have a plus. This we want to fill it in. We're going to make this a less or equal to, instead of just a plain equal to. All right, so those are all of its facial features that we need. See. And then the next thing that we can do, we can do its feet next. So with the feet, we can start with a half circle. I'm going to move this up so I can see it when this keyboard comes up. So the feet is going to be another half circle. So a half circle, y is equal to the square root of 1 minus x squared, and we're going to move it over to where we want it. So this seems to be at 1 1/4, and then we'll shift it down to 4. That fitted pretty well. Okay, and the next, and if we want to put like a line underneath it, we're gonna have to like squeeze the y by a large factor. So we can use like a really squished half circle. Start playing these numbers. And first one, the 0.25 seems to have worked for me. And then we can these lines all these lines at the just adjust them to the color they want them to be, and reflect them over. You can just change the minuses to pluses. Right, so if we have a look back at what we have drawn so far, we are making pretty good progress on this. Oh, and then as for these equations, what is the equation that I haven't used? I don't think I've used in any of my videos. Uh, okay, we can use. Okay, we got a few options. Collect square roots. Which we each these lines look like. Square root of x, and then I want to move this over here. So it's going to be plus 1.75. I'm going to subtract 4.25 maybe. Doesn't have to be perfectly lined up because I've actually decided which one I'm actually going to use. Okay, there's this sort of square root which traces this line pretty nicely. Another line that we can use is we can do a logarithmic graph. So we want to fit that shape. Log of square root of, oh, wait, no, just log of x plus 1.5. I'm going to shift it down. That's too much. And this is a change a bit more dramatic. I might have to change to like a different base. That's 5 look. Log base 20 traces out pretty nicely. With this by tad. Right, so that's a logarithm. And then the next line that I have in mind, I can do a hyperbola. So that's hyperbola is the square root of 1 plus too far minus 4.25. And we can just this up. Right, so all three of these graphs work, and I am pretty settled with. I'm pretty convinced that the log base 20 graph is the line I want to use. I'm not saying it's the correct graph. All three of these lines can do the job. This is just my line of preference, so I'm going to choose this one and delete the other two. Now what I can do is that I can move this over by a little bit. I'm going to change this to a different base. I don't know what I was doing. Should we change the y value? Wait. Anyways, well, okay, then I can get these values. I can see them. Okay, it's negative 4.249. This is negative 3.225. And the lower bound, this one is negative 4.24. And the intersection point is going to be, the intersection Wi-Fi is going to be the same. Right. Well, and I've already gone for over 20 minutes, and I want to save the rest of this for next week. But while we're still here, we can just make some corrections to get this to the shape that we want. In this case, we want to change the direction which our x is facing. You can change this to you can do that by multiplying the entire x transformation by -1. All right. And I don't know why I did that for. I should duplicate them first before I change it. Okay, now we can. So now this whole thing is getting messed up because there's getting lost in what I'm doing myself. So okay, so this needs to be faced the other way. And these need to be shifted back to where they came from. Right. And I hope this video actually helps you get started on this graph, and I hope you can finish the rest of it on your own. And I'll put this video in the description as well. So because this is a burden to type when you're copying down. All right. So yeah, like always, check the description for any important announcements, or I'll just announce them here. But they're mostly in the description. And if you have questions or suggestions, those are welcome in the comment section. And for those of you who are just coming here just to advertise, it's not the place. Right. Other than that, I will see you all next week then.